Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we would make some bags, like this sort of bag, out of Christmas wrapping paper. Of course you could use any wrapping paper, but since I'm doing a Christmas journal, I thought Christmas wrapping paper would be the right thing to do. I have a mess going on around my desk and I see things are encroaching just a little bit. So just imagine. Yikes. Not as yikes as some desks I've seen, but it's yikes. Yikes for me. I'm going to move things as I go. Okay, so I cut out a few different pieces. I have them all prepared and I flattened them out so that they weren't curling up on me too much. You can make your bags any size you want. So I did a few different sizes to start with. And I think we'll just do one of these. There's no point in doing two. So let's just go ahead and get started and see what we come up with. This wrapping paper I found at Walmart last year. It's the Pioneer Woman Christmas wrapping paper. Isn't it beautiful? So my friend Donna and I bought a couple of rolls and we split them so that we could use them in our journals instead of wrapping paper with it. I mean wrapping presents. So this particular piece here that I have it's about 10¼ inches by 6 inches. And I am just gonna go, let's see, 10¼ So the center is around here. And again, I'm just, any size. It's nothing, it's not earth-shattering, If you're making it to fit something exactly, then, make it a certain size. But otherwise, it doesn't matter. You just kind of fold towards the middle and give yourself some overlap. So let's say my overlap here is pretty big. It's about 1 inch. But that's totally fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold up 1 inch to 3/4 inch, just a comfortable fold. It doesn't have to be anything measured, just whatever easily folds up. And then I'm going to open it up and I am going to cut out this area here because it's just bulk. We don't need it. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I'm not cutting on my pencil line. I was just showing you that. I'm cutting on my fold line. So you can always ink these up if you would like. I'm not going to ink these today. There's so much pattern on it, and so to me it just doesn't seem necessary on this particular one. But it's totally up to you. I'm cutting off a little corner here, just a little triangle. Okay, so that will be just like that. But I want up here, I want the back side to show, like I want one of these. So what I then do, I've got lines here, so I could have a big one, and in fact I might just do that. Since I have the lines here and it's going to make it really easy for me, I am going to just use that line. The inside of my wrapping paper, had the grid, so that's nice. Move that, and then this. If I didn't have lines, you can just measure down and, put your line wherever you want it. Okay, and then I don't want this to show. So I cut a piece out to glue on to hide it. So let's go ahead and cut that. And then we'll glue it down. And it's okay, I cut sideways, totally fine. You'll see why. And it's about this long, so we'll go ahead and just put some glue all the way down to there. And we'll use the bone folder to spread that glue out. I did not bring myself anything to wipe up my glue mess with. Okay, so that's ready for us. And then I take something that is rounded. Hold on just a second. Let me grab a ribbon spool. Get the ribbon back on there. And depending on how big your... So that one's not big enough, not at all, but I have a bigger one. So here, and you know, you can also use a lid or something like that. So I'm gonna line it up, and I didn't give myself enough. That's okay. That's okay. It doesn't have to be. So another thing to do, I've seen Tina on Shabby Dabby Doodah do this. So she'll fold it together like this, and I think that's how I'll do it. And I want to use my pinking shears. I'm hoping that my glue is dry enough that it doesn't get my scissors all yucky. So there we go. It gives us that little rounded corner. So like me, if you made your bag way too big and one of these doesn't work to give yourself a line to follow, then you can just fold it in half and cut it like that. And actually, I think I'm gonna do the pinking on this as well. You don't have to. And I'm gonna stop right where that fold is. And then I'll cut that off. I try to line my edge up so that I'm not having a weird looking cut there. Okay. So there's that. And you can do this either way, you know, like this if you want, but I like the look of that myself. So we're going to put glue on the edge here, and I know that I have about an inch, so I'm just going to kind of fill in a little bit, and then I'm going to put glue on this edge here. And then glue the bottom flap down. And there we go. There is one. And then it's ready for whatever. Okay. I grabbed this out so you can make one according to, like, you know, I want a pocket for this recipe card. So you can cut your paper according to what you are wanting to put in it, if that makes sense. So then I would do my folds based on, you know, my tag or whatever it is. In this case, a recipe card. And then we're just going to do the same thing. My line here is not great. How much? Okay, and I've got at least an inch. So I'm going to use a paper cutter and straighten that up, just because I do want my line straight. This is a really nice sharp paper cutter, but you know, you can only use it for something smaller. And I'm going to line it up with my line down here. And get a nice, pretty straight line. You could also do pinking. And then same thing, down here at the bottom, you fold up 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, just whatever you're comfortable with. Let me see. Yeah, I like that. I like that, you know, height for the card as well. Give it a nice crisp fold. And then again, you open it up. I'm going to mark it so you can see. But I'm cutting this area out here. Right here. And then you've got this square little flap, and then you just take your scissors and you're going to be cutting that as well. So, you know, I could do it all at once, which I think I will. So this morning, had a fun morning this morning. I was going to go upgrade my phone. And so my husband made an appointment, you know, because you never know how things are, you know, if you can just go into a shop right now or what. So he made an appointment. It was at 10 o'clock. We get there and it's 10 o'clock and we walk in, and the person that was working, in a not nice way, told us, there are already a few people in front of you, so I don't know if you want to stay or not. And we're like, well, we have an appointment. This is hanging down just a little bit, so I'm going to trim it off. We're like, we have an appointment at 10 o'clock. Does that mean stay, or, you know, what do we do? She's like, well, I'm sorry, but there are people in front of you. And we said, well, I know, but we have an appointment, so does that not matter? And she said, no, basically it doesn't matter because there are people in front of you and it'll be at least half an hour. Or you can wait until 11:30 when other workers will show up. But right now I'm the only one here. And ouch, you know, that was just not cool. And none of the other shops opened until 11, and so, long story short, I do not have a new phone. Okay, so we're doing the same thing here. We're going to add, but you know, that's just so frustrating to me because it seems like that is just par for the course these days. Things should not be that way. In my opinion, you make an appointment because you are going to get a service. I mean, what is the point? What is the point? I don't know. And we had taken our time. It's not like I drove 5 minutes. I live half an hour away. I don't live in town. And so we had to go. So we wasted basically an hour longer because we tried to figure out, we stayed in town long enough to figure out what we wanted to do. And what we decided to do was just go home. But Anyway, frustrating, just frustrating. And it is so just the way things are now that I don't even think people realize that they're not being treated as they should be. That is not the way things should be. Oh, just one more thing. I'm going about halfway in between my little inch marks here on my grid to do the little pinking. And you don't have to do pinking, it can be straight. But I like the pinking. I'm gonna cut this. And so we have a family member that works at the particular company that we're talking about. So we called her and said, well, what do we do? And she says, well, let's just schedule you an appointment at the one that opens at 11. They have an 11:30 appointment. And we're like, but what's the point? Who cares if they have an 11:30 appointment if they're not going to honor the appointment? So, and my husband, left work for it. I am not a technically savvy person, and I just know that if I were to go by myself, I would show up and not be able to tell them one single thing about what I want or need. I just, I'm like, just give me a phone. I want it to work. Just give me the phone. Anyway, it's very frustrating. I know I shouldn't be that way. At some point I'm going to need to figure all of this stuff out on my own, but I don't want to, and I don't like that I have to. All right, I'll quit complaining. Okay, so then again, I know I made a really fat one again, so I'm going to go ahead and just fold it, and we'll do it that way again. I should have let my glue dry a little bit longer, but I'll just clean my scissors with some rubbing alcohol. Okay. Since this one is, really white, I think it would look nice with a little bit of distress ink, but I'm not going to, just for the sake of time. So a little glue there, and then a little glue on this edge. And see how I'm a little goofy there? That's okay. I'm just going to take and cut that little pokey off, and that's fine. And this one. Keep watching. Don't, we're not done yet. I've got another little way of doing it here in just a second. I mean, it's kind of the same thing, but a little bit not. Okay, so this one we made to fit something. So you can do it that way. Okay. Let's see, so next, another piece of wrapping paper. But this one has a beautiful Santa on it. And if I do it this way, and I have my cut and my opening here, then I'm not going to see my Santa. So this one, we're going to do this as the front. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult, but not terribly so. I'm going to go ahead and make my folds so that I can see Santa on the front. And I want to get the little birdie in there too, so see, he's got a birdie. What is that, a cardinal maybe? I don't know. It's a red bird that they show at Christmas time, so I'm guessing it's a cardinal. Okay, And then we do the same thing as far as, you know, but we're going to do it on the back. So I'm going to fold it up. We're making it totally the same, but we are changing one thing. We want this to be, you know, the front, and this here to get that curved shape. So I have the line here where I'm going to cut, and then I need to cut here. So this is my opening. And I'm going to measure down a little bit so that I get a nice straight line. Let me pull out and I think I'm going to go about 3/4 of an inch down. I'm going to make a line so that my cut is straight. So my fold is right here and right here. So this time I'm cutting this out. And I'm going to do this one with straight scissors. And I don't have to back this one. The inside of this wrapping paper obviously is craft colored, which is nice. I like that. Okay. And I will go ahead and do these cuts as well. So I'm cutting this out, and then my little, you know, V shape. And this V shape will be hidden because it will be the back of my pocket, but that's okay. So then this is going to be, you know, the back part. And I'm trying to decide, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm thinking that I want this one to be more of a straight one. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue this down. My overlap again is about 1 inch. I'm going to take and I'm going to measure from this straight line, because remember we measured this, so it's a nice straight line. So we're going to go, let's do half, actually I'm going to go to this, whatever that next one is. I don't know what it is. That noise. I have a planter box in my window, and my cat just jumped up in it, and she's pounding on the window wanting me to let her in. Oh, I need to make the line. So if you hear scratching, it's my cat. When I take the summer flowers out of it, she starts jumping up in there again, which I really don't like. Doggone it. So I'm just going to follow that pencil line. Do you hear her? And then I'm gonna go to the edge and cut. And this edge, and cut. So there's Santa. So we have Santa on the front. Isn't that cute? And then of course you can also take your wrapping paper and fussy cut Santa out of it. So, you know, go down to your wrapping paper and see what you can, you know, find for all of your fussy cutting. Okay, so I have one more idea. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, so let's see. We're gonna find out together. You know how people will take a pocket that's like this? Stop it, kitty, stop it. And they'll put it in a signature folded, so you've got one side over here and one side over here. I was thinking, well, let's just make a nice long one that we can put in a signature. So basically doing the exact same thing, but then we would be folding it like this. The cat is making me laugh. She's like, I'm not going to stop until you let me in the house. So you know what she does. She's like a kid, and it's the in and out game. You know, she's like, thanks for letting me in. I'm going to get a drink of water, and now I'm going to stand back at the back door until you let me out. Let's see. I'm going to go... What do I want to do? I'm going to go here. When I was a kid, it used to drive my dad nuts. He was like, stay in or stay out. Quit going in and out. I don't know why it bothered him so much, but it did. My kids did that and it didn't bother me. I don't know. Okay, we'll do that on both sides. Just do that. I'm hoping the video is not too long and that I'm giving you an idea you hadn't thought of before. I mean, we all have made, I'm sure most of us have made these little bags before, but have you made it out of wrapping paper? One year my friend Donna and I did a wrapping paper type swap. You know, I think we did my friend Cherry as well. Hi Cherry, if you're watching. She's another lady that lives here locally that likes to make stuff. She does lots of mini albums. They're so good. Oh my goodness, she is so talented. Anyway, we did a swap where we just went through all of our Christmas paper. I'm going to go ahead and glue this down, and it will make my I'm going to trim this down a little bit. I don't know if you can see the overlap. I think. No? Yes? Should I? You know, it's going to mess up my... I'm just going to take a little bit of it off. Okay, so let's glue, and we'll see what happens. Again, my overlap's about an inch. So we did a swap. You know, everybody's got different Christmas paper. So we went through our Christmas paper and fussy cut a bunch of stuff out and shared it with each other. So I have an envelope full of fussy cut bits from Christmas paper. Okay, so take this and I'm just going to do kind of this way, I think. I'm going to do that little fold again. You just have to make sure you don't go too far with it or you'll end up with a funky shape. And then this side. Okay, so then you put it into a signature. If I had one out, I would show you, but pretend I've got other papers here. And so you just stick it into your signature like this. And, you know, having it folded there, you know, creates your pocket so you've got, you know, one on either side. Isn't that cute? So hopefully I make another, you know, Christmas journal and I can use this in there. So you can decorate them or leave them as they are. So here is what we made today. Excited. Hope you like it. Hope you got something out of it. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.